Okay. Good morning, everyone. We are here this morning at the Village of Airmont for the Community Design Review Committee, Tuesday, November 12th at 11 a.m., 11:02. Our first application is Avis Bias Yakov School at 12 North Airmont Road for an education and institution without accessory housing for the proposed amended site plan that was approved at the planning board, and they're here for chairman's endorsement.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sal.
I think we have Shimmy on the line for them.
Yes, hi, I'm here.
So I sent you the review from John Nozak. Did you receive it?
Yes, I just received it this morning.
Yes. So essentially, I think based on his letter, and John, if you want to speak up, the only thing I need is the inspection fee.
That's it.
And then I have
Yes.
to send you the professional fees. And the site plan didn't have any changes. So I put in my email to you this morning. I just need 6 sets, which I will stamp. You can have the owner sign and then bring them all back, and then I'll contact the planning board chairman to sign. And then
Okay, so
disperse.
fine. So I have all the 6 sets ready. My guy's gonna come over to you to stamp it, and then the owner's gonna sign it. He's gonna bring it back for the chairman, and I think we're good to go. And I'll bring you a check for the inspection fees.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Does anybody else have anything? I got the fire lane agreement. They're bringing the check. If Shimmy, if you want more than one, you're gonna get one set signed back for you. If you need more than one, then just bring whatever more you want in terms of sets. Okay.
Okay, I need only one, which is perfect.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because then I disperse them like Town of Ramapo, Building Department, et cetera, 911. So they go all over to the engineer.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Chris,
All right, so I'll bring.
Lou, you have anything?
No.
All right, so I'm gonna after this meeting, the consultant's approval form, I'm gonna have Lou sign first, and then I'll scan and send it over to you guys to sign for the file, that you're okay with everything, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
I really appreciate it. And my guy's gonna be by you soon.
Okay, yeah, I can't do anything till after the meeting, Shimmy. Okay?
Yeah, no problem. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Okay, our next application is Yeshiva Talbot, 83 Campbell 2.0 at 83 Campbell for a proposed school of religious instruction with the proposed site plan, architecturals, and renderings. And we have Rachel on and Mr. Rubenstein, the applicant.
is Paul Baum on?
I don't see him on, but I did send him everything.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. I haven't heard from Paul, but I did send him everything, including the letter from John.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So we were here last month. The application is for a proposed school. The existing residence is going to remain on site for a caretaker's residence, and the school is for 100 students. We now have provided more information. The last time we were here, there was concern about the amount of parking. We were able to add some additional parking spaces, which I think will help. We still don't have as many as would be required. However, I think that the amount that are required is excessive based on the number of students. I know there's 2 ways that it's calculated, and it's based on the worst case, but the number of parking spaces that we're providing is appropriate based on the number of students. Even though we acknowledge that we need a variance based on the size of the school. So we're back. We're here to hear comments, but hopefully provided more information than the last time.
Okay, Tallman did not send their letter to me as of yet. I was expecting it. Verbally, I think the turning radius is okay, but I want the letter for the file. So as soon as I get it, I'll send it. Oh, here's Paul. I'm letting him in now.
Don't let him in. Don't let him in.
Yeah.
That's not nice. Hi, Paul. Oh, he's not in yet. John, do you want to go through your review letter?
Yeah, we did see the revised, plans, and the, additional information that was requested. Believe the SWIP was included with the, electronic submission. So a lot of our previous comments have been taken care of, such as landscaping. Note added to the plans that there won't be buses on site, which substantially helps traffic because it's kind of tight in there. So that's a good thing. So going through my comments quickly, we still need things like, well, we did get a long form. It wasn't signed, but then we got a revised one that was signed, and I don't know, there is a discrepancy that shows like 2.1 acres of disturbance, but it doesn't match what the breakdown of the acreages show elsewhere in the EAF. We need Rockland County Planning review, some agency reviews, and I guess the big thing is we do need the variance for lot width, coverage, and parking spaces. So that being said, I believe the next move is to get to the planning board. So, and I think that with the revised submission that the plans have been upgraded significantly, that I certainly have no objection to proceeding to the planning board unless somebody else does. So. Couple comments on the SWIP. We need the ENOI, and I think that was it. You had your calculations for 110 and 100, and I believe you're doing infiltration. And if I'm not mistaken, infiltration testing has already been completed.
Yes.
Why everybody calls it perk testing, I don't know, because perk testing, as I understand it, applies to septic systems. So, but your infiltration testing, I think, was very good. It was like 12 inches per hour or something. So,
Yeah, yes, and they used a testing company that did it.
okay. So anyway, so I have no problem with moving forward on this application.
Lou, do you have anything?
No, thank you.
Oh, good.
Chris, do you have anything?
Not here.
All right, John, I'm going to give you the hard copy SWIP when you come for the planning board meeting next week.
Okay.
So you have it.
So, do we have any comments from the fire department?
They verbally told me that the turning radius looked good. That they said I would have a letter, but I don't have it as of yet.
So I want to make sure they're satisfied.
Yeah, as soon as I get it, I'll forward it.
Okay.
All right, I don't know if I have any other comments, issues, questions. Rachel, do we have anything that was lingering that we wanted to know anything particular about?
Not that I could think of, so.
We did get the SHPO letter back. Did you submit that yet?
Yes,
Yes, and I forwarded it.
we saw that.
Yeah, so with those, because they always come in at like random times, so I'll just send it, Suzanne, to you as whenever, on all of them, like whenever I get them, because they always come at weird times.
That's fine. I just added to the digital file.
Okay, that's fine. I figured it
That's
was like a minor thing in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah,
but
no,
at least then
it's
you
fine.
had it in the record.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Thank
planning board schedule.
Well, the December 18th meeting is on a Wednesday, but the submission date was November 7th. Are you not going to make it?
No.
Today's the 12th.
About
Okay.
June.
So then we're looking at a January 2025 planning board date.
Yeah, January 23rd.
So then
is
you
the meeting date.
obviously you'd need to circulate it 30 days in advance. It's around the holidays, so we should probably strive to get you something.
Yeah, December 12th is the deadline. The planning board has an earlier deadline because they want to get the GMLs and letters back at
Right.
both meetings, which is why it's more like 5.5 weeks.
Okay,
That's
So-
the reason.
So 12/12/23 deadline for
24.
What?
12/12/24, not 23.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
For January 23/25.
12/12/24 for 1/23/25.
Correct.
Okay. Good. We'll get that in. We'll make sure it's complete. We'll fix up the EAF. We'll get you the additional information and
Okay.
see what happens.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. I'm sorry I was late. I got tied up for a second and I didn't realize the time had passed. What happened with Congregation of Havas?
They're going to bring the check for the cost estimate, bring the plans, which I'll get stamped, and give them to get the owner to sign, and then I'll contact the planning board chair to sign. I know they are in a bit of a concern to get it done as quickly as an expeditious.
I was just wondering whether everything looked like it was
Yes.
okay and they can get it.
Yes,
All right,
everything was fine.
One quick question, guys. I'm sorry. It's Ari Floor from Shiotalpia. Thank you, Paul and Rachel and everyone here on the call. When is the deadline for the submission for the planning board for the January 23?
December 12th.
12/12.
December 12th. Got it. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a
No
wonderful day.
problem.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Suzanne, thank you. It's Moshe.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome.
you
Have a
for-
good day.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
everybody.
Okay,
Nice to see you.
Thanks. Okay, you too.
See you Thursday, some of you.
Oh, yes, yes, I have to send that out. I'll get to that after this.
Okay.
One thing at a time.
right.
Okay,
Bye
thank
now.
you. All right. Our next application is Ruben. For proposed lot line change at 48-50 South Airmont Road. It was a proposed lot line change, for a proposed re-subdivision plan, and they're here for chairman's endorsement.
Yeah, so let me interject real quick because we only had a couple of comments, one being no seeker. There's no proposed activity. This is strictly a lot line alteration. And then the only other two comments we had was that, and I believe that there was no issue, but that the applicant agreed to comply with the comments of the Rockland County Planning Department. I don't think there were any overrides requested, and that the Rockland County Drainage Agency has to review this plan. So that's all we had.
I believe that's it. I never got a letter from the Rockland County Health because what was submitted was from 2019, I think, on their previous planning board submission for a different part of the project for illegal tree removal and stormwater drainage. But I don't know that that makes a difference, but they are also going to be paying their meeting fees, which they're behind on in the professional fees. That's the only other thing I wanted to point out.
Okay, yeah, there's no, the water and sewer, they're not proposing to change any of those utilities, I don't believe, nor are they proposing to alter the site in any manner, unless I'm
No.
mistaken. So I don't think the health department has any jurisdiction here.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Any issues? I'll also circulate the sheet for that one as well. Okay. All right. I just texted the people for the last application, 10 South DeBorn. If everybody's done with this one.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, so we're done with Ruben.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next application is 10 South DeBorn Avenue for proposed 2 office buildings for proposed site plan and architecturals. So we're here to discuss how they would handle either a reinstatement or resubmission of an expired planning board approval, but I need to get the contractor, Ichuk Gruber, on, and the engineer to give a little history. This has never been seen before by Fusco Engineering. It was the prior village engineer, Brooker. It had been to planning board at least 3 times. It was formerly known as Allegro. Got 2 approvals. Then it went back as 10 South DeBorn. They made changes. The biggest changes were to the grading, and they got approval. The old neg deck was done for secra because we went through an extensive traffic review. But since then, there is now a new project that just got approved at 10 South DeBorn. I'm sorry, 14 South DeBorn, literally across. And they went to 2 CDRCs. There was a lot of engineering items that had to be done. They were not finalized, and per our code, they have 180 days from the approval to get a site plan signed unless they ask for up to 2 90-day extensions, which I did remind them of. We never got those extensions. So now all that time has lapsed. So
Good.
they're here today to discuss the next steps because they want to finalize the project and move forward. But there are different players in the mix now, different engineer, different contact, and I don't know if there's going to be a different attorney.
Did the chairman ever sign the site plan?
No, we never got to that point because the engineering items
All right.
were never finalized appropriately. Something about standpipes with the fire department. There were issues with the drainage and things from the SWIP that hadn't been done. And I kind of pulled what I thought was relevant and sent it to all of you. I do have to pull the minutes from the last CDRC. I got February. I just didn't get a chance to do March. So to see what was still lingering, but that was the last piece that they needed to do. And then there's an issue, Chris, with the legal documents because there was no assignment of sale, which is what was requested. So I have some escrows from the old Allegro and I have some old documents, which now would be the new. And I don't know that I can transfer some of those escrow monies because of everything without an assignment of sale. And Amy Mealy was the attorney at the time for
Okay.
this, and we were going to work on that, but we never got to the next steps.
All right.
But the issue at hand is how do we get this moving forward so that they can, finalize the plan and move forward. No
Back to-
variances were required.
I think they have to go back to.
Suzanne,
Yes,
I don't think Amy wants to take it. Amy says there is some conflict with the town, so we'll need a new attorney as well, probably.
okay. So Chris, would that mean we need like a new application completed? I would think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the old contact was construction expediting. Amy was the old attorney. And Leonard Jackson was the prior engineer, which is now disbanded and he retired. So I know it's Avi. So like all this information needs to be updated on an application. And then the plans really need to be looked at by Fusco because they've never really seen this project before, but they wanted to know what legally was going to be required before they could do anything further.
Yeah. The
And-
site plan is expired, so they need to submit a new application.
So that's a good time for me to interject because everything else is peanuts in time compared to the actual site plan that was previously approved. So, when I don't know if the applicant plans on getting another engineer or resubmitting a new plan, but if you looked at, and I did briefly, I didn't comment on it, but it's a very, very extensive, elaborate, detailed site plan that was previously used. Now, in an ideal world, the engineer who was on board before would now just come in and resubmit and make whatever changes were required, and it would be a relatively simpler process. But if the engineer who got site plan approval is no longer around, I don't know. What I don't want to do is get a set of old plans from 3 years ago and review them and comment them without an engineer who's currently on board that can make the appropriate changes and do what is necessary to, meet current site plan approval requirements. So I'm just throwing that out there because it's one thing to do a new application. It's another thing to redraw 22 pages of engineering plans.
John, if I may interrupt. Justin Lin was the drafted original for Lenny Jackson. So Lenny is not there, but some jobs went to Civil Tech and some jobs went to Justin. Avi and Justin Lin are working together. So
Okay,
Justin is still on board. So the engineering, it changed from Lenny as being the sign off to Justin, but it's basically the same, a continuation.
okay. Is Justin a licensed engineer?
I believe that he is.
Okay, just double check that because the stamp and signature will have to appear on the plans.
Okay, so either Avi or Justin, but they work together on this, that I know.
Okay. Very good.
So what are the next steps, gentlemen? A new application, revised site plan with the items that were deficient from the March 23rd CDRC for
Yes.
Fusco to do an extensive review?
Yes, and I would resubmit the stormwater pollution prevention plan because there may be some current regulations that have changed since it was approved a couple of years ago. So
Okay.
we'll need to double, if not, then that's fine, then the previous SWIP will, if nothing else, they're gonna need to file a new, notice of intent because it's gonna be under new ownership, if I'm not mistaken. So the form portion of the SWIP will definitely have to change.
Suzanne,
Yes.
the last contact was still Allegro. It was already 10 South Dubon LLC.
Well, it was the new owner, I forget the person's name, I'd have to look it up. But he was 10 South DeBorn LLC. But one of the issues that was pointed out by the prior engineer is they never changed the title block and all the pages to show 10 South DeBorn LLC. It was still showing as Allegro. And that was one of the major changes, besides some drainage and a bunch of other things. So I don't know that, I did not get a submission showing that change to the best of my knowledge. You have
Okay,
the
so-
last, I sent you all the last plan that I received, which I didn't print out because it was like 24 pages. And we would need a real site plan for them to review. Not just a digital. I need a hard copy for Lou and John to really look at. Or Fusco. I should
Okay,
say.
so can we make like a list of what I need to start a full new application and just write that this was previous at the planning board on that and that date?
Well, in the application, there's a page that asks, I think it's on page 2 or 3, where it asks if this was previously before the board, before I can give you those dates that it was previously in front of the board. It was in front of planning 3 times already.
And the application is for planning board, yes? For
Yes, it's
CDRC or for
planning
planning?
board. Yes, there are no there were, at the time, there were no variants
Variances.
required. To
So
the
it's
best
going
of my knowledge.
It's basically to reopen an old application, sort of. But we're filing a new application, submit hard copies of the plan. Should I submit also the stuff that Avi sent to you a few weeks ago that were the outstanding items?
I didn't get anything from Avi to that I'm aware
Didn't
of.
send? I think he
I-
did. I'll double check with him.
Yeah, I didn't receive anything because I would have put it in this CDRC submission. But if I'm understanding the gentleman on the team correctly, they have to come back to CDRC. They can't go straight to planning, correct?
I understand
Okay,
that part.
okay.
So
all
what's the deadline for the next CDRC?
The next CDRC meeting is on Tuesday, December 10th, and the deadline is November 19th, next week.
So that's next week. Okay,
Yes.
so by then I need to find an attorney and I need to find a new application. Do you need to know the attorney then? Or I could add the attorney before
Well,
the
you have to
CDRC?
put the attorney's name on the application. If you
Okay,
don't,
so
if you submit without it, then I'll need you to update that page so we have it for the record appropriately.
Okay, so let me try to get a new attorney and file a new application. And also you need the sale, then that's a
Well, we
part
were
of the
trying to
application.
get the assignment of sale details to know what was covered in the sale, because there was an extensive amount of money paid. I'd have to pull all the items from the old file. I had originally sent what I had to Amy. I have to pull all those things out. I don't know it off the top of my head. I
So
know
you
that stormwater
so you need to-
escrow there was inspection fees, but then there was a new inspection form done that Eve marked up, who is from the prior engineer from Brooker, because it wasn't done properly, and then I never got that resubmitted. And then we would need that check, but I don't know if those old monies could be applied to the new, that's all legal questions. Because without an assignment of sale, I don't know how that's handled. I'm not an attorney.
Okay.
Avi just came on. I just let him in. He's coming on now. The stormwater and the cost improvement, all of that is really for another final CDRC. I think you need to get yourselves in front of the planning board again with the current plan to get a reapproval, correct, Chris?
The current plan is not changed than the previous. It's the same plan, basically.
But it's expired.
It's expired.
We
so
know
it
that,
has-
but
okay.
we just need to, I understand the part it's expired, but we are not changing anything. But there's not a lot of to do. It's just basically printing it out, the new application and sending it in.
Okay.
Avi,
Hi,
for the last
everyone.
So,
Avi?
Yeah, hi.
Clear. So are you suggesting that you're going to use the Leonard Jackson plans as part of your new application? If the answer to that is yes, that may be a problem because the plans need to be updated with the new title block and the new engineer that's going to be stamping them. I assume Leonard Jackson is retired, I guess?
Yes.
I don't
Yeah. We
So-
took him over. So, hi, it's Avi Weinberg, Weinberg Lim Engineering.
Okay,
My partner Justin Lim and I. Yeah, so we took over Leonard. We
okay.
will update all the title information.
Okie dokie.
I just missed the beginning of this. So what it sounds like is, Isaac, is that we just basically need to update all the plans and everything to reflect the new firm.
We made a new application. They want hard copies of all the plans, all the paperwork we have. We'll need to resubmit. They just have technical issues about the money that I'll have to talk to the attorney how it works with escrows and that stuff because they still have a lot of money from Allegra, I understand.
Right. So again, I'm just writing this down. So you need all the old applications.
No, I need a new application with the new engineer's name, title, who the contacts are, you and Justin, the name of your firm. We need the new attorney. We need the new contact if it's Isaac, because everything else that I have shows Coleman Hertzkovitz from Construction Expediting, Amy Mealy.
Right.
It has all outdated information. And then I have to pull to the minutes from the March 23 for the items that you had last submitted for that Eve, which was the prior engineer, said still was not accomplished to ensure that whatever you're submitting, it is accomplished. And then all of that has to be reviewed by the new engineer, Fusco engineer. They're not our new, but this project is new to them. And they have to review all of that before they can agree for you to go to planning board again. But it's completely expired. So it
Right.
has to go back to planning board.
But everything old, do you need us to provide that to you, or you guys have it on record that you could, like the outstanding items that you said, like from Eve?
We need a new complete application.
Right.
You basically have to start from scratch, Avi.
Okay.
Besides the drawings, you have to
The
change.
drawings, yeah.
drawings.
You just need to make sure they're updated, but you have to, you're starting from scratch to go to planning board like it was never heard before.
Got it.
Unfortunately. So
Okay.
there would have to be a new secra, right, Chris? There would have to be a new planning board resolution. I don't know, and I can't answer for the planning board or the the CDRC attorney. Are they going to reuse the prior neg deck? They've already done that once. I don't know if it could be done again. I don't know these questions. This is all going to come out in the planning board meeting.
Got it.
Because there are things that have changed, Avi. There is a big project across from this project now. And that also did an extensive traffic study. They knew about your project, but as far as everybody knew, nothing was happening with it because it was never finalized. But now there is a school across the street at 14 South DeBon that is going to have 350 students in it. So that is going to affect things.
Right.
All right. So, Yitzhak and Avi, I can talk to you about after the meeting on whatever else you might need from me.
Okay, I mean, at least I see we've got our homework for now. I'm sure we'll be in touch, Suzanne, to make sure.
Okay. All right.
you know, to make
Sounds
sure this
good.
application is all buttoned up before it goes in.
Okay. And, John, is there anything else you require?
Nope.
Okay, and I believe I have the SWIP, Avi. I'll just look at the date because John, when you weren't on, wanted to see the SWIP, but I don't know if there's any further updates to the last one I have. I have to look at the date, the last submission.
Ne-
And you can confirm that, and then I can send that over to them.
And again, let's say this SWIP was okay. You took a look at it and it's fine. Would you still need a new title on it, or that would be
No,
fine?
if the, I don't believe any of the, what date, what year was the date on the SWIP? 2 years ago?
Probably.
least-
You-
So I don't believe any of the SWIP regulations have changed in the last 2 years. So yeah, if the SWIP that was done is compliant with the current regulations and it was fully completed and executed, I'm not going to make you do that again. But I want to look at it to make sure. So I noticed on a lot of the SWIPs that we look at, there's no ENOI, draft notice of intent. There's no, some of them don't have the water quality components of the SWIP that are state mandated. Most of them do have the stormwater pond designs, which tend to be underground mostly in this area. But, all that I got to make sure is code compliant. And if it is, yeah, we'll just accept it. I'm not going to make you redo it.
Perfect. Again, Suzanne, chances are, I'll try and send you whatever I have, John, all the old comments, so you could see stuff we did or why we did things and what was addressed. Hopefully I have all those records. A lot of this stuff got sort of I took over this project as Leonard was winding down and we were starting up. So I hope nothing got lost in between. But we'll try and get you whatever we got so you could understand why we did stuff, per the comments of the previous engineer and all that.
I did, to try to make this easier for you all, contact that prior engineer, but they haven't been with the village in over almost 3 years, so it really wouldn't have made sense for them to continue. And I would have had to get permission, but they said it should go to the new engineer anyway, because that's who our engineer is on record.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Okay, thank you. So Suzanne,
Okay.
I guess we'll get some sort of a small sheet of what
Yes,
exactly. we need
yes,
to do.
yes, we'll talk after. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
everyone.
Suzanne. John,
Okay.
nice to meet you.
thanks.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Okay,
All right.
all right, have a good day, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you.
thanks, Suzanne. Take care.
Thanks. You
Yeah.
too, bye-bye.